Welcome to TradersArmy.com, defending your right to build wealth and preserve capital for generations to come. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I am your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Hope everybody had an absolutely amazing day yesterday, as we're going to do what we do each and every day, look at the same 10 to 12 futures markets, identifying potential breakout trades and turning points in an educational perspective. As always, please make sure if you're not a subscriber to click that subscribe link down below. And if you are a subscriber, we appreciate a like or a comment on the video. It helps the algorithms to know that people are still looking. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in. So we are after Election Day, and the first 2 days of this week were just kind of ho-hum. There wasn't a whole lot, although we started to see some bullish momentum come into the markets yesterday, and it carried into the overnight hours. Now, yesterday I tweeted out, that there was the potential to pick up some out of the money puts on IWM just in case the market had a huge sell-off. And actually, that's one of the things that I was a little concerned with is that we were going to have a really big sell-off, because when you go to the 4-hour chart, I mean, our big picture still has, we've finally now put in a higher swing high. In the overnight hours, we have finally put in a higher swing high and a higher swing low, right? This is the first higher swing high and higher swing low we've seen on the 4-hour chart. We didn't quite come down and retest those February lows, although I think there's still a possibility that we will. I don't think we're completely out of the woods. But we did have some bullish momentum that has come into the market over the last couple of days. Now, I have been cautiously sitting out because I want to make sure that it's the right setup before I jump into a position. As we've started to gain a bit of momentum, we've now put in some decent areas where we may see a bit of opportunities to get long on a reversal now, on some sort of a pullback. So on some sort of a pullback, we may look at some of these areas. But when I look at these areas, I'm not in love with any of them on the hourly chart. I still have a breakdown potential short below 26.81 if price does indeed fall. But that's 120 points away, right? So there's 90 points away, excuse me. Math was backwards. That's fairly far away, so I don't see us getting to that level anytime soon. And so what are some of the areas I may look at today? So when I go down to the 15-minute chart, what I'm looking at here is a huge rally off of this 15-minute time period. Now remember, anytime that we use a 15-minute time period, we've got a slightly higher amount of risk associated with that. And so I'm going to put that into purple lines because those purple lines mean that we're on a smaller time period. So I'm going to put this in for a potential reversal on the 15-minute time period, 27.63 by 27.58, in that range if we come down into that level. On the NASDAQ, we had a potential short up here, but notice the type of trade that we had set up. This is a confirmation style entry. And anytime we have a confirmation style entry, we only get short if it comes halfway in and then trades out. Well, it didn't do that. It broke through the level. This is why we use confirmation style entries. So now it did reverse on this bigger area right here. Now, when I go to the 4-hour chart on this, we have another area up here, but I definitely now have higher swing lows and just about a clear higher swing high on the 4 hours. So we could be seeing our Santa Claus rally, if you will, heading into the end of the year. So kind of keep that area in mind. The opposite is true in crude oil. Crude oil, we have a pretty decent move down as we have continued our move down. And I think that right now is a good opportunity in crude. If you are so inclined, I think there's an opportunity in crude to get short on a reversal heading back down if we get below 62.50. Anywhere below 62.50 could be a good opportunity to get short, because that would tell me that we've started the next leg down. Now, I will say that my momentum to the downside is getting a bit weaker. And we had an area that I thought could have been a little bit of a reversal off the 4-hour chart that we kind of poked through. But I think there's a decent opportunity for you've got to rally up, and now we would be heading back down. Would be kind of that next leg. Now I would take some profits fairly quickly on that, but I think that can lead to a breakdown. So hopefully I get the video out in time so that people can catch it. Gold. Now gold hit our reversal trade that we talked about yesterday. Nice little move off of this level, and then a pretty strong rally up. If you took that trade, I think it's time to take your profits off the table as it came to our opposing fair value area. So I think this is a good opportunity to close that one in case you took that particular trade in gold. Next, looking at our bonds and our currency markets. So in our bond market, we didn't come anywhere near the level, nor did we in any of our currency markets. All of our currency markets were widened out just a bit, and we can see that in the overnight hours we had a pretty big, I call these stop sweep trades, where it kind of gave us a breakdown and then popped right back up with a whole lot of nothing happening. So really nothing to add in either of these markets. When I go into the Aussie is continuing its march higher. We've seen a little bit of strength kind of coming out of this thing. I think that if we get a little bit of a pullback, you're going to get a decent opportunity somewhere in here. I don't have that right now that I'm going to add to the list, but it is a potential. In the euro, we're gaining some momentum also to the upside, and this is all founded on the weakness of the dollar and the Canadian. But none of these are in truly high probable areas, so I don't really have a whole lot to add on either of these. I'm waiting for the higher degree of probability. In our live trading room, we talked about some of the cross pairs, like the euro yen, are maybe better opportunities, and some of those currency cross pairs actually give you better opportunities where you're not trading with the dollar. Now, let's look at the Great British Pound. So in the Great British Pound, we had a potential breakout above this area here. We came through, hit the level, and then chopped around, and then boom, popped right through this. And I meant to remove those lines yesterday off the chart because we were just basing in front of it, which made it a fairly weak level in the beginning. Japanese yen, we had the same, essentially those big moves that are basically stop sweeps in my eyes, but we still have a potential breakdown below us here. So keep an eye on each of those areas. So all in all, I think that we're still up in the markets today. I think that we have some opportunity to sell off a little bit. I think this 15-minute level is a decent shot for somebody to take a long on a bit of a pullback. That would bring us back down. I mean, that's still 13 points away from where we are. That would bring us back down to only being up 4 for the day. That's a little bit, but we do have a little bit of a rising trend line. So if we do come down into there and it happens to bounce off the trend line, even better. Although I don't use the trend lines as support, it is something to consider when looking at our market. So for those of you that are Traders Army subscribers, tonight at 8 p.m. Central is a Q&A session. So a live Q&A session, time to ask as many questions or whatever you may have. So feel free to bring those in. Those of you that aren't subscribers, go to tradersarmy.com and learn more about becoming a Traders Army subscriber. And tomorrow we will have our live trading room. So hope everybody has an absolutely amazing day. I will talk to you soon.